WVLK, Lexington, Kentucky. The time is 9:30.
Well, Auburn has outscored Kentucky by 5 points in this second half, which at this moment, 13 minutes and 17 seconds to go, shows Auburn 54, Kentucky 52. And a cry goes up from the Auburn section. The Auburn campus, located at Auburn, Alabama, some 60 miles away from Montgomery. The name of the school is Alabama Polytechnic Institute. Well, this is Auburn's timeout, so when they're ready to go, play will be resumed. Calvert and Brewer remain at Kentucky's guard positions. Mills and Grawemeyer at the forwards and Burrow at center. Auburn still huddled up around Coach Joel Leaves, trying to play it cautiously, we imagine, trying to make sure they can hold on to this 2-point lead. Auburn has dropped only 2 Southeastern Conference games, losing to Alabama and Mississippi. It's back to play now as O'Donnell feeds down the right side to Sturkey with Calvert on him. Out to McGriff, breaks left, jump shot, blocked by Grawemeyer, taken off by Johnny Brewer as he picks it up short of the basket with Nelson on him. Brewer dribbles himself into the clear, comes in front court unopposed now. Down the left side to Mills, back to Calvert, breaks through to the left. He gets open, the shot's good. Calvert driving in, gets his second field goal and 6th point of the game. It is tied up 54-all after Auburn had a 54-50 lead. Pass goes into the pivot. Sladen breaks. Foul called. As he breaks for the basket, it's against Auburn. Drawing the personal foul is Kay Sladen. That is the 3rd foul on Sladen. Ray Mills goes to the Kentucky free throw line. 12 minutes and 45 seconds to play. Game tied up as Mills pumps up the free throw. No good. Grawemeyer taps. No good. Auburn rebounds and Calvert fouls, trying to take it away from Sturkey. It's the 3rd foul on Kentucky's Jerry Calvert. 12 minutes and 42 seconds to play now as Auburn will take free throw opportunities. That's 11 personal fouls against Kentucky. Sturkey has hit 2 out of 3 for the Tigers, shooting for his 7th point of the game. A right-hander. Sturkey sights and shoots. Good. And Auburn goes into the lead, 55-54. Bonus shot for the 6-foot Auburn guard. Although Auburn plays guards at the pivot and the forward. Here's the bonus shot. Good. Auburn 56, Kentucky 54. Brewer moves right back into front court for Kentucky. Setting it up with a pass down the left side to Mills. He keeps going to the top rim of the circle. Gives out front to Calvert. Calvert sets up with a pass over to Brewer. Brewer down the right side to Grawemeyer. Moves out, gives to Calvert. Breaking to the right, coming back to the left. The shot's no good. A whistle. Foul has been called against Auburn's Henry Sturkey. Sturkey committing his 3rd personal foul of the game. Jerry Calvert on the Kentucky free throw line. He shoots and misses. He has another one coming since he was fouled in the act of shooting. 12 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Calvert's 2nd shot, good. Auburn leads 56-55. Back in front court, Sturkey gives down the right side to Sladen. Pass to Nelson. Jump shot over Brewer, good. 2nd field goal for Brownie Nelson, and Auburn leads 58-55. Brewer in front court for the Wildcats gives a high pass to Burrow, who drops it, and Auburn's got it. Burrow fouls, trying to get it back. And that's the 1st foul in the game for Burrow. 12 minutes and 8 seconds to go as Auburn comes back to the free throw line. Coach Adolph Rupp calls Ed Beck off the bench. Beck, apparently coming in from Burrow, is a 19-year-old sophomore from Fort Valley, Georgia. Stands 6'7", weighs 190, has 17 points this season, an average of 1.2 a game. Beck's big night was against Tulane when he scored 4 points, and Burrow is out of the game. Vernon Hatton replaces Johnny Brewer at a guard. So Kentucky's starting guards are back, Calvert and Hatton. Grawemeyer is the only other starter in the lineup as Mills and Beck take over. The Auburn free throw line now. Sturkey shooting, hitting. Sturkey tonight missed his 1st free throw and since then has hit 5 in a row. Auburn has another 4-point lead. Sturkey's bonus shot is good. Auburn leading 60-55 now, has outscored Kentucky by 8 points in the second half, and 8 minutes have been played. Here is Hatton in front court, down the right side, breaks in and shoots, no good, but a foul by Auburn. Foul on Bill McGriff of Auburn, the big center, and that is 4 fouls on Bill McGriff. Vernon Hatton goes to the Kentucky free throw line where he has hit 3, missed 2. Hatton is shooting 2. 12 minutes exactly to go in the game. Hatton shoots and hits. Hatton taking a second shot now. He's just hit his 10th point of the game. Here's Bill Gregory, 6'8" center, replacing McGriff, who goes out with those 4 personal fouls, and Auburn leading by 4 points. Hatton of Kentucky shooting his second shot as Calvert's backed up in safety. Hatton sights, an easy shot is good. Very soft free throw by Hatton to make it 60-57. Here's Auburn quickly attacking. Nelson breaks to the left, shoots over Hatton, good. That's 2 quick field goals by Brownie Nelson now, and Auburn leads for the second time in this half of 5 points, 62-57. Gromar tied up as he gets the pass down the right side. Sturkey moved in and slammed the ball right into his midsection to hold it there. Gromar at 6'8" will have 8 inches height advantage on the Kentucky free throw line. He moves back to say something to Calvert as he goes in to jump against 6-foot Henry Sturkey of Auburn. Taps the ball to Mills. He's double teamed. He's tied up. Jumping again on the Kentucky free throw line. Mills is 6'4". Jumping against Jim O'Donnell, who's 6'3", gives Mills 1 inch height advantage. Taps back to Calvert, who gets it away from Sturkey in a close fight. Out to Gromar to Hatton. Hatton breaks down the right side, cut off by Gregory, flips to Calvert, who fakes, comes by Nelson, tries to shoot, is knocked to the floor, and Calvert is charging. 4 fouls on Calvert now, also 4 on Bird, and Kentucky is in trouble. 11 minutes and 32 seconds to go, still plenty of time, but the Wildcats have been very ineffective throughout this game here tonight. Bird sitting next to Coach Adolph Rupp on the Kentucky bench, who's in a huddle with him right now. Auburn's Henry Sturkey, who's hit 6 straights on the line for 1. The shot is good. Now waved into the lineup is Bird, replacing Ray Mills. Bird has been held to 2 field goals in this game. He moves in and immediately goes into a huddle with Calvert. Auburn leads 63-57 as Sturkey goes in for that bonus shot. It's no good, drops off on the side. Beck taps behind him to Calvert and moves quickly in front court for the Wildcats, trailing by 6 points. Over to Hatton, a 15-foot jump shot, no good. Tap by Beck, no good. Gromar's got it. Fights Sturkey for it to get it out to Hatton. In the pivot to Beck, back to Calvert, wide open. He lays it in, breaking down the middle. Calvert gets his 3rd field goal and 9th point. Auburn 63, Kentucky 59. Sladen moving slowly up in front court for the Tigers now. Long bounce pass knocked down by Calvert as it was intended for O'Donnell. And Calvert comes by Sturkey wide open and lays it in. 2 quick field goals, but Jerry Calvert of Kentucky has cut Auburn's 6-point lead down to 2, 63-61. Back in front court now. Sturkey to O'Donnell. Down the right side to Brown and Nelson. Beck knocks one down, intended in the pivot there, and it goes out of bounds, intended for Sturkey. It's out of bounds to Auburn off the deep right corner of the front court, where Sturkey calls a play. Passes just in to Gregory, who hooks it back to Kay Sladen. Bird breaks through to get it, can't do it. Sladen breaks for the basket. Beck cuts him off, and he takes a jump shot that is no good. Rolls around, and rebounding, Bird of Kentucky. Whips a bounce pass to Gromar, breaking down the right side. Gives to Hatton, who breaks for it, and a foul on Gromar. Gromar, after passing, charged, and it is the 2nd foul on Gromar. It's the 2nd foul on Gromar. Into the Auburn lineup, Jim Diamond, the alternate captain, replacing Kay Sladen. Brownie Nelson is on the Auburn free throw line. He has 3 field goals, 2 in this clutch period of the second half. Shoots good. Nelson's had 2 free throws so far in the game and hit 1. He's on the line for a bonus shot as Auburn takes a 3-point advantage. It's short. Gromar taps behind him. Nelson races and gets it for Auburn. Hatton covers up on him, and Calvert moves in to take away a pass intended for Sturkey. Drives and lays it up. No good. Missed it. Taken off by Sturkey of Auburn. Drives in on a 3-2 fast break. Goes all the way and lays it in. Henry Sturkey of Auburn picks up his 3rd field goal, and Auburn leads 66-61. Hatton in front court gives to Calvert, who breaks to the right. Back to the left. 15-foot jump shot. No good. Tap by Beck. No good. And Auburn's got it. Auburn getting stronger now, beginning to run on the Wildcats and score. Nelson fouled by Hatton as he drove for the basket. Foul on Vernon Hatton of Kentucky is number 3. 9 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Auburn wants timeout now. They're third of the ball game. Well, right now, Joel Eves is going to go into a huddle with his Auburn Tigers. He's got a pretty good situation at the moment as Bill Cassidy is coming into the Kentucky lineup. Cassidy, a 20-year-old sophomore from Inez. He's 6'3", weighs 190, has 38 points this season, an average of 2.9. He had his big night against Georgia Tech at Lexington when he scored 10 points, the only time this season he's been in double figures. Auburn leads 66-61, a 5-point advantage, and they are on the free throw line when we go back to play. Auburn has never beaten Kentucky. So right now, Joel Eves apparently is trying to work things out that will hold the Wildcats. It has been known throughout the Southeastern Conference this season that Auburn had a very fine ball club. They proved it when they led Alabama by 7 points at halftime, and the Tide had to come on with a rush to beat them by 9 points. And now they have the Kentucky Wildcats in trouble here with 9 minutes and 50 seconds to go. They lead by 5 points. In the Kentucky lineup right now, we have Bill Cassidy going to a guard with Vernon Hatton as Calvert has come out. Grawemeyer and Bird are at their regular forward positions, and Ed Beck is playing the pivot in place of Burrow. Burrow picked up 14 points in the first half and 3 in this half. Now it is Auburn's Brownie Nelson at the free throw line, fouled by Vernon Hatton. The free throw, no good. He's got another one coming as he was fouled in the act of shooting. Auburn trying to pick up its second 6-point lead of this half. The shot's good. Auburn 67, Kentucky 61. Pass comes into Cassidy, who moves in front court for the Wildcats now. Pass goes in the pivot to Beck. He hands to Hatton. 20-foot jump shot's good. Vernon Hatton gets his first field goal of this half and his 13th point of the game to make it 67-63. Auburn leading by 4 points. Here's walking called against Henry Sturkey just as he tried to pass into the pivot and had to hold up for a split second. Cassidy in quickly to Vernon Hatton, who's back in front court for Kentucky. Down the right side to Grawemeyer, moves out and gives to Cassidy. He takes a one-bounce dribble, pulls the ball up over his head, and feeds back out front to Grawemeyer, who hands back to Cassidy, to Hatton, to Beck in the pivot. Beck takes a one-bounce dribble. He's double-teamed, whips a high pass to Cassidy to Bird. He takes a 20-foot jump shot. That's no good. Hatton rebounds, lays it up, no good, but he's fouled. Drawing the personal foul is Auburn's Jim Diamond. Diamond's first foul of the game, and Hatton of Kentucky will take 2 shots. Hatton has hit 4 out of 6. Cassidy is in safety. Hatton's first free throw is good. Cuts the Auburn lead now to 3 points. 9 minutes and 6 seconds to play. And Diamond comes out of the Auburn lineup. Bill McGriff. O'Donnell rather back in. Here's Hatton's second shot, good. And the score is Auburn 67, Kentucky 65. Back in front court, quickly down the left side to Jim O'Donnell, the Auburn captain. Out front again to Sturkey, with Cassidy stabbing for the ball, but unable to get it to Nelson. Down the right side to Kay Sladen. He spins, breaks on Bird, and takes a jump shot from 10 feet. Good. Sladen picks up his 6th field goal of the game to put Auburn in front, 69-65. Here's Hatton in front court, down the middle, tied up, and walks with it. It's out of bounds to Auburn. Auburn with a 4-point advantage. 8.5 minutes to play. Jim O'Donnell has it now in front court out deep. Crisscrosses and gives to Sturkey, moving to the right. Cassidy stabs through but can't get it. Back to O'Donnell to the left side to Gregory. Out to Brownie Nelson, top rim of the circle. The shot short. Beck rebounds for Kentucky. He's got a 4-on-2 break, gives a bad pass to Hatton, who pulls it up and is fouled by Jim O'Donnell of Auburn. And that is 3 fouls on O'Donnell. Gregory comes out. McGriff is back in the Auburn lineup with 8 minutes and 17 seconds to go. Vernon Hatton is on the Kentucky free throw line, shooting 1. As Kentucky trails by 4 points. Hatton's shot good. Hatton has hit 8 out of 10. Auburn's lead is 3 points as Hatton sights for his bonus try. It's good. Auburn 69, Kentucky 67. Back in front court is Sturkey of the Tigers. Pulls up out deep with Cassidy hooking for the ball but unable to get to it. Off the left side to Jim O'Donnell, weighs it over his head, dribbles toward Gromeyer, then backs away from him as Auburn controls the ball. We have 8 minutes to go. Pass to Sladen now on the right side. Bounce past McGriff, and the pivot spins. Gromeyer cuts him off. Jump shot, no good. Fight for the ball on the floor. Jump ball is called. Nobody can get it out of there as Bird and Gromeyer go right on top of him. McGriff still laying on the floor, looking into the Kentucky bench. McGriff stands 6'7". Gromeyer 6'8". Gives Kentucky 1-inch height advantage on the jump at the Auburn free throw line. The tap is out to Nelson, though, of Auburn. Down the left side to Sladen. Shot over Beck. No good. Rebounding Gromeyer of Kentucky, and he is fouled from the rear. Brownie Nelson of Auburn committing his second foul. A correction. It is the fourth foul on Nelson. Brownie Nelson's fourth foul. Also 4 on Bill McGriff. And 44, Phil Gromeyer makes his first appearance tonight on the free throw line for 1 shot. Here's Gromeyer shooting. He got it. Gromeyer gets a bonus shot and a chance to tie up a 69-68 ball game. He has it now, and here's the important free throw. It is no good, and Auburn gets it as Jim O'Donnell picks it off in the Tigers' fast break. Hatton turns him at the free throw line, and Gromeyer picks up on him. Over to McGriff and out to O'Donnell as Auburn has a 1-point lead. We got 7 minutes and 35 seconds to play. Here at Montgomery, Alabama, O'Donnell just tom-tomming the ball out deep now. Gives to McGriff down the right side to Sladen. Back to O'Donnell under the basket. Spins by. Hooks a pass, and Beck cuts it off for Kentucky. Beck moves just out of the pivot and then gives to Hatton, who moves back in front court. Pass to Bird. Moves to the left, pulls up, hooks out to Beck. Hands to Hatton. Hatton down the left to Bird. He fakes, breaks, gives back to Beck. 1 bounce dribbling out to Hatton. He moves in, a 15-foot jump shot. No good. Rebounding is Hatton as he picks it up on the bounce to the left, breaks to the right for the basket, flips it up and in. Vernon Hatton gets his 5th field goal of the game and puts Kentucky in front 70-69 with 7 minutes to go. O'Donnell back in front court for Auburn now. Gromeyer on him, out deep. Bird playing very closely to Sladen. He can't get it to him. Goes over to Sturkey down the left to Sladen under the basket to O'Donnell, and a hook blocked by Gromeyer, taken by Jerry Bird. Bird moves up in front court himself with it. Cassidy just moving in behind him. Gets the pass now to set it up with Vernon Hatton. Passes over to Hatton. Beck moves into a deep pivot. Passes on the right side to Gromeyer. 20-foot jump shots, no good. Fight for the ball. It's taken off by Ed Beck. He can't get out of there with it, and O'Donnell takes it away, and Beck fouls him. Beck committing his first foul of the game. Clock stops with 6 minutes and 28 seconds to go. And Auburn's captain, Jim O'Donnell, is on the free throw line. O'Donnell missed his first free throw tonight, but hasn't missed since. Kentucky holds a 1-point lead. Auburn has outscored Kentucky by 2 points in the second half of play, after Kentucky outscored them by 3 in the first half. Ball game tied up as O'Donnell hits at the free throw line and has a bonus shot coming. 70-70 the score. O'Donnell back in on the line, and as he gets ready to shoot, time is taken by his teammates. It is the 4th time out of the game for Auburn, and 3 have been called by Kentucky. Well, in the second half, here has been the scoring picture. Jerry Calvert has scored 7 points. He has 11 for the game. Vernon Hatton has scored 10 points. He has 19 for the game now. Ray Mills has scored 2. He has 4 for the game. Bob Burrow has scored only 3 points. He has 17 for the game. And Johnny Brewer scored 4 points in this half for a total of 8 points in the game. For Auburn, Brownie Nelson has scored 6 points in this half for a total of 8 in the game. Sturkey has scored 9 for a total of 13. Sladen has scored 6 for a total of 18. O'Donnell has scored 7 for a total of 15. McGriff has scored 2 for a total of 14. Kentucky is ready to go as the Auburn captain has a bonus shot coming with it 70-70. 6 minutes, 28 seconds to go. Vernon Hatton and Cassidy remain at guards for Kentucky. Phil Gromeyer and Jerry Bird at the forwards, and Ed Beck still playing the pivot. Now the Auburn captain, 6'3" Jim O'Donnell, who was high point man against Kentucky last year, stands at the free throw line for a bonus shot. Chance to break a 70-70 tie. He shoots it good, and Auburn has come in front, 71-70. Cassidy gets the incoming pass and moves up the backcourt, past the stripe. Fakes a pass in the pivot to Beck, gives on the left side to Bird, who fakes, breaks, lays it up. It's good. Bird with his driving shot gets his first field goal of the half and 6th point of the game to put Kentucky in front 72-71. Sturkey in front court gives to O'Donnell of Auburn. Down the right side to McGriff. A one-bounce dribble and a pass out to O'Donnell. Down the left side to Sturkey, who handles the ball and gives out to Sladen, top of the circle. Pass to O'Donnell, and a fall-away jump shot's good. Jim O'Donnell gets his 3rd field goal of this half, and Auburn leads 73-72. 5 minutes and 50 seconds to play now. Cassidy, a quick one to Beck. That's knocked down and taken by O'Donnell of Auburn. And the Tigers have the ball with a 1-point lead. O'Donnell setting it up. Passes down the right side to McGriff. One bounce dribble and out to O'Donnell. Down the left side to Sladen. Under to McGriff. Knocked down by Beck. It's picked up by McGriff. Gives into the left corner to Sladen. Bird goes into time up, try and cut off an outcoming pass, but he gets it out to O'Donnell, and a hook shot is good. The Auburn captain has just picked up 6 straight points when Auburn was trailing by 1 point, and the Tigers lead 75-72. Hatton in front court for Kentucky. Gives to Beck in the pivot, out to Cassidy. 20-foot jump shot. It's good. Billy Cassidy hits from the outside. His first field goal of the game. It's 75-74. Hatton down in back court, bothering O'Donnell and Nelson. Now here is O'Donnell getting it. Drives by Gromeyer. Pulls up, gives to Sturkey in the front court. Back out to O'Donnell on the right side. 5 minutes to go. Here at Montgomery, Alabama, is Bob Burrow. Waits to come back in for Kentucky. Pass to the left. Knocked down by Bird and kicked into the back court. But it is okay since Bird did the damage. And moving back to get it is Nelson. To Sladen and back to Nelson. Hatton took it away from him. Here's Vernon Hatton wide open. He lays it in. Hatton stealing the ball in the Auburn front lines has, with that field goal by Cassidy, put Kentucky in front 76-75. Auburn's 3-point lead has been cut down. Here's Sladen as Kentucky's defense gets very close and aggressive. Falling out of bounds with it is Sturkey. And they rule that Cassidy forced him out of bounds. So they give it out of bounds to Auburn. Bounce pass into Brownie Nelson. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Kentucky with a 1-point lead. Passes over to O'Donnell. He's got Gromeyer on him. Breaks into the keyhole and gives out to Sladen on the right side. Sladen retreats from Bird. Bird playing him very aggressively. Down the right side to O'Donnell. Gromeyer stabs for it. Gets just a little of it, but can't jar it loose from the Auburn captain. Over to Sturkey, who drives in. Nelson missed the shot, and Bird picks up the rebound. Bird has it knocked down, picked it up, and it is picked up by Cassidy, thrown into the basket and out of bounds to Auburn. Cassidy falling out of bounds as Bird was knocked off his feet and unable to hold on to the ball. The Tigers get it with 3 minutes and 48 seconds to go. Timeout has been called by Kentucky. 4th Kentucky timeout of the game, and Bob Burrow checks in for the Wildcats to replace Ed Beck. Well, this contest tonight has been a thriller. Never more than 7 points have separated the two teams, and that 7-point separation was in favor of Auburn in the first half of play. Kentucky was able to take a lead at halftime of 43-40, but they have had an uphill battle in the second half as the Tigers have really put on the steam. Kentucky has 12 field goals in the second half. Auburn has 11, which means Kentucky has 1 more field goal than Auburn, and Auburn has 1 more free throw than Kentucky. Kentucky is ready to go. It is their timeout, which means that we should have Auburn called back to the floor. Cassidy and Hatton are at the guards. Bob Burrow is playing the pivot. Gromeyer and Bird are at the forwards. Cassidy is the only one in the game who's not a starter for Kentucky. Auburn has the ball down on the deep right side of the front court, where 6-foot Henry Sturkey will put the ball in play. Cassidy guarding him very closely, puts a high pass to Brownie Nelson out deep. Down the right side goes to Sturkey. 1 bounce dribble. Cassidy closes up quickly on him, passes over to Nelson. Auburn keeping the ball out deep. Moving to the right is Sturkey. Back out to Nelson. Pass goes in the pivot to McGriff, spins to the right, drops the ball and walks with it, and it's out of bounds to Kentucky. 3 minutes and 25 seconds to play. Cassidy out of bounds, checks to make sure he's clearly away from the stripe, and puts a long 2-handed pass into Hatton, who moves in front court. Down the right to Gromeyer, a 1-bounce dribble, and then a hand pass almost out front to Cassidy. Hatton is in under the basket, calling for the pass to go to Bird, who breaks, feeds Hatton. Hatton breaks, his shot's no good. He's knocked to the floor, and the ball's out of bounds to Kentucky. Hatton gets up off the floor, shaking his head, where he'll put the ball in with 3 minutes to go. Kentucky 76, Auburn 75. Pass in the left corner to Bird, out front to Cassidy. Burrow was a little late coming through on the attempted play. Cassidy in the pivot to Burrow. Burrow lets the offense spin by him. Takes a one-bounce dribble and gives out front to Grawemeyer to Cassidy. Kentucky slowing it down now, trying to play for the easy shot. Cassidy moving it around out front as Auburn's defense is getting tough out front. Burrow to the left, feeds out deep to Grawemeyer. Down the left side to Bird. Burrow moves through the pivot. Bird looks at him. Fakes to go to the basket, spins around and gives to him, breaks back. Bird goes, and the ball is taken away from him by Sturkey of Auburn. Up to Brownie Nelson. It's 3-on-2. Nelson to the right, pulls up, doesn't shoot, gives to O'Donnell, who spins to the left with Grawemeyer on him. Can't shoot. Out to McGriff, who takes a 20-foot jump shot. It's short, no good. Bob Burrow picks up the rebound for Kentucky, hands to Cassidy with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to play. Kentucky 76, Auburn 75. Up in front court, Hatton gets it from Cassidy. Hatton breaks. His shot is good. A tremendous falling one-handed shot by Vernon Hatton of Kentucky. And the Wildcats go into a lead of 78-75. 1 minute and 55 seconds to play. Up in front court is Sturkey, feeding Brownie Nelson on the left side of a double pivot. Cut off in a pivot by Bob Burrow of Kentucky. He hands to Bill Cassidy, who slows it down in the backcourt with 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. He looks back over his shoulder to Coach Rupp. High pass goes in the pivot to Bob Burrow. Back to Hatton, breaking. The shot, no good, and Auburn's got the ball. But McGriff fell out of bounds with it, and a foul against Bob Burrow of Kentucky. Second foul on Burrow. Stops the clock with 1 minute and 36 seconds to go. Timeout Auburn. It is the 5th timeout for the Tigers, and the 9th timeout of the ball game. Well, it has been a thriller. We've seen Vernon Hatton lead the Kentucky Wildcats in the second half of play. Hatton has come up with 4 field goals and 6 free throws after a 9-point first half. Hatton is having his best night of the season. His best previous night was against Georgia Tech in Lexington when he scored 21 points. He has 7 field goals right now. Total of 23 points. So Hatton is 2 points better offensively than he has been in any previous game this season. The picture is this, here at the State Coliseum in Montgomery, Alabama, the cradle of the Confederacy. 1 minute and 36 seconds to play. Kentucky 78, Auburn 75. And the Auburn 6'7" center, Bill McGriff, will be at the free throw line as the warning whistle sounds to go back to play. Cassidy looked over his shoulder as he started up the back court a moment ago, and apparently got the word from Adolph Rupp not to stall it, but to attack the Tigers, thinking maybe they could get in open for a shot that might give them a 5-point lead. Now let's see what happens. It is Jim O'Donnell rather than McGriff that is on the line. O'Donnell missed his first free throw and has not missed since then. A right-hander. O'Donnell shoots. It is good. It gives O'Donnell 7 straight free throws, and coming into the Kentucky lineup, Jerry Calvert replacing Bill Cassidy. So Kentucky now has all 5 starters back in the game, as the 6'3" Auburn captain Jim O'Donnell has a bonus shot coming with 1 minute 36 seconds to go. He shoots it. The shot is good. And the score is Kentucky 78, Auburn 77. A 1-point Kentucky lead as Hatton moves back in front court. Passes over to Calvert. Almost walked with it. Just barely getting it down in time to dribble. Over to Hatton, who moves down the left side. Pivots. Pass to Burrow in the pivot. Hatton breaks by. Burrow fakes to him, spins out, and starts for the basket. A foul is called against Auburn. Bill McGriff, and that is his 5th personal foul. Auburn's 6'7" center fouls out with 1 minute and 18 seconds to go. Bird was open under the basket then, and looked like Burrow was trying to get it to him. Bill McGriff fouls out of the game with 14 points. He had 7 field goals, 6 of them in the first half of play. He did not get a try at the free throw line. Now Bob Burrow, who's hit 5 out of 6, goes to the Kentucky free throw line for 1 shot, and it is an important situation here for Kentucky. Here's Burrow's free throw. It is no good, and Auburn's got the ball. Calvert knocks it down, and a foul against him. So Auburn, trailing by 1 point, goes to the free throw line, as Jerry Calvert of Kentucky has just committed his 5th personal foul of the game. Johnny Brewer is coming in to replace him. Calvert fouls out with 1 minute and 15 seconds to go as Burrow's free throw was short and Auburn got the rebound. Jerry Calvert fouls out with a total of 11 points, 4 field goals, 3 out of 4 free throws. Now it is Brownie Nelson of Auburn shooting a free throw. This is really important. Here it goes. It's good. And the ball game is 78-78. 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. Now the bonus shot to the 5'11" Auburn guard. He looks at it, and here it is. Good. Auburn goes in front, 79-78, after Kentucky had a lead of 78-75. The Tigers have come up with four quick points. Here's Johnny Brewer in front court for Kentucky now. 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. He passes it over to Hatton. Waves Gromeyer in. Hatton fakes, cuts right, goes for the basket, hooks it up. The shot good by Vernon Hatton. Hatton going to individual moves now to put Kentucky in front. 79-78. Or rather, 80-79 is the score. Gore doesn't show it. Sturkey hits a 30-foot set shot. And Auburn takes a 1-point lead, and here it is Sturkey taking the ball away from Johnny Brewer coming in. And over to Brownie Nelson with 35 seconds to go. Auburn has stolen the ball. And they are out in front now by 1 point. 81-80. Here it is over to Gregory. Out to Sturkey as Kentucky tries to get it with 25 seconds to go. A foul as Vernon Hatton deliberately fouls Brownie Nelson to try and get the clock stopped. Nelson is on the floor and hurt. Temper is getting a little short down on the floor now. The coaches move in and begin to separate the boys. 24 seconds to play. And turmoil broke through there as Auburn's Sturkey hit a long set shot from the outside to put Auburn in front. And then the ball coming in, he stole the ball. And he is still on the floor. Nelson is. Foul by Hatton. Hatton seemed to get in to foul him very quickly, and he wanted to foul him to get the clock stopped. And let's see if the interpretation by the officials will be that it was a deliberate foul. Cassidy is coming into the Kentucky lineup, replacing Hatton. Well, we saw Kentucky move out in front, 78-75, and then it looked like that the Wildcats had it. But we've seen these Tigers of Auburn battle back with 6 points to only a field goal by Hatton. They're still working on Nelson, who was injured in the first half also. Hatton is coming back to the scorers table. And Auburn will be at the free throw line. We have not had any indication yet from the officials. Harry Lancaster right now is out talking with Rumi Wilson. And we'll have to hold up now till the Auburn team, which is huddled up around the fallen teammate Brownie Nelson, and see what has been called before we can decide. Let's take 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Standard Oil Sports Network.
WVLK, Lexington, Kentucky. The time is 3 minutes past 10 o'clock.
Back to the Coliseum, Montgomery, Alabama, where Brownie Nelson is being given 2 shots on the deliberate foul by Hatton. He's in the line now for the first shot. Auburn has a lead of 81-80. Nelson fires the first one. No good. It is short. Gregory, the 6'8 center, takes it off and hands it to him, talking to him quickly. Now Nelson shoots the second one. It's no good. Gregory taps twice, 3 times, no good. And Johnny Brewer rebounds for Kentucky with 19 seconds to go. Over to Burrow, up to Gromeyer, to Hatton, spins. Gives to Gromeyer. There are 12 seconds to go. Burrow with a jump shot. It's good. With 9 seconds to go, Bob Burrow has hit a 20-foot jump shot. Let's see what Auburn can do with it. Here's Gregory in front court. 3 seconds to go. Nelson hooks and misses. A fight for the ball. It comes off. Bob Burrow's got it, and Kentucky wins. How about that one? Let's see what's been called here. Fred Walters is moving to the scorer's table. No foul has been called. We don't believe here. Walters very quickly ran over. Rumi Wilson ran to the scorer's table and put on his hat. It's all over. And what a tremendous ball game this has been. Boy, you can mark it down in your book. These Wildcats have had to claw one out tonight. 82-81 on a 20-foot jump shot by Bob Burrow with 9 seconds to go. And the gallant little guy, Brownie Nelson, got off a hook shot in the dying 2 seconds of the game. Well, down on the floor below us, an excited crowd. Johnny Brewer walking off, talking with some friends, as Adolph Rupp and Harry Lancaster stand with athletic director Bertie Shively, talking with the Auburn coach Joel Eaves. So it is all over. And what a contest this one has been tonight. Kentucky 82, Auburn 81. And Auburn will be heard from for the rest of the season. A tremendous ball club. Not long on height, but tremendously long on scrap and desire. Well, this is the first of 2 games that Kentucky will be playing here in this Coliseum. They'll be back on the 25th to play the University of Alabama. Here's the scoring now. Bob Burrow, of course, will take perhaps a lot of the heroes' spotlight with that 20-foot jump shot with 9 seconds to go that has given Kentucky its second one-point win of the season. Bob Burrow was held to only 5 points in the second half of play. And Burrow has finished the night with 19 points, which is 1/10 of a point better than his average per game. He had 14 of his 19 points in the first half. So Burrow tonight has picked up 7 field goals, and on the free throw line hit 5 out of 7. Burrow missed a free throw there that could actually have perhaps iced the game with 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. He missed it. Auburn got the rebound, and Calvert fouled, which gave Auburn 2 points. And then they stole the ball coming in. Looked like Auburn had it there in the dying seconds of play. And Bill Gregory, a 6'8" reserve center, had a tap go up on the rim that looked like might drop in and seemed to just roll off. He caught it again to get it up, and a third time to get it up, but it wouldn't drop. Johnny Brewer rebounded. Bob Burrow took the shot. Vernon Hatton tonight had 9 points in the first half, and it is hard to say how much value his efforts were to his team in the second half. On the free throw line, he came up with 6 free throws in the second half and a total of 16 points, a total of 25 for the game, as Vernon Hatton led Kentucky tonight. He had 8 field goals, and on the free throw line was able to hit 9 out of 11. 25 points for Vernon Hatton, which is 4 points better than any previous night Hatton has had. Well, let's see where the game was decided. Counting up the field goals here for you quickly. 15 points was scored field goals for Kentucky, which gives them a total of 31. Auburn had 12, which means Kentucky had a field goal advantage of 31 to 28. And the Tigers took the advantage at the free throw line. The other scoring for Kentucky tonight, Johnny Brewer got 8 points, 3 field goals, 2 out of 3 on the free throw line, as he hit 4 points in each half of play. Jerry Bird tonight, Kentucky's leading scorer, was held to 6 points and surrendered the top spot right back to Bob Burrow. Bird had 3 field goals, 2 of them in the first half of play, total 6 points. Phil Grawemeyer tonight had 5 points. 5 points on 2 field goals, 1 out of 2 on the free throw line. 4 points for Ray Mills, who had a field goal in each half and missed a free throw in each half. Bill Cassidy added 2 points on a second half field goal. And Phil Johnson got 2 points on a first half field goal where he missed his only free throw. Ed Beck was the only Wildcat in the game who did not score. He played in the second half in relief of Bob Burrow. Jerry Calvert fouled out with 1 minute and 15 seconds to go and had 11 points, 4 field goals, 3 out of 4 on the free throw line. Now let's take a look at the scoring picture for Auburn. Bill McGriff, their leading scorer, averaging 14.6 a game, scored 14 points on 7 field goals, 6 of them in the first half of play. Jim O'Donnell did a tremendous job for Auburn tonight. He hit 8 out of 9 free throws, and he had 7 field goals. 22 points for Jim O'Donnell. He finishes only 3 behind Vernon Hatton of Kentucky. Kay Sladen tonight for Auburn came up with a total of 6 field goals. He had 18 points as he hit all 6 of his free throw opportunities. Henry Sturkey had 4 field goals and a total of 15 points. Sturkey on the free throw line was able to hit 7 out of 9. He missed his last free throw opportunity. Brownie Nelson tonight had 3 field goals and a total of 10 points. He missed 5 free throw opportunities in 9 tries, and 2 points picked up by Jim Diamond. Bill Gregory was in the ball game but failed to score, and Bobby Tucker was in the game in the first half, missed a free throw, and he didn't score. So Auburn tonight was able to place 5 men in double figures. Jim O'Donnell with 22, Kay Sladen with 18, Bill McGriff, who fouled out with 1 minute and 18 seconds to go, 14, and Brownie Nelson with 10. Kentucky tonight had only 3 men in double figures. Vernon Hatton, the leading scorer in the game, with 25. Bob Burrow with 19. Jerry Calvert with 11. And that was the picture of the ball game as Kentucky defeats Auburn by 82 to 81. It was a thrilling game, and from start to finish, it was anybody's. It was dominated in spots by Auburn, dominated in spots by Kentucky. But it was nonetheless the Wildcats who had to fight back to win the ball game. They had to come from behind. They were outscored by Auburn in the second half of play, 41-39. They outscored Auburn 43-40 in the first half of play. On the free throw line, let's check the shooting here quickly for you. Kentucky hit 9 free throws in the second half. They had only 13 attempts. Auburn was murder to the Wildcats on that free throw line. They had 17 free throws, 17-9 on free throws converted for Auburn. And they had 22 tries. So Kentucky had a 31-28 edge on Auburn in field goals. And Kentucky tonight hit 20 free throws. Auburn hit 25. 82-81 the final score in favor of Kentucky. Kentucky has now won 6 and lost 1 in the Southeastern Conference. They've won 13 and lost 3 for the season. Auburn has now won 5 and lost 8 for the season. Their conference record is even at 3-3. Kentucky led, as we said, by a score of 43-40 at halftime. Well, we'd like to remind you that 3 generations of Kentucky motorists have found the big red, white, and blue Standard Oil sign to be a symbol of quality petroleum products and of outstanding service for their cars. Your Standard Oil dealer is proud of the quality of the Standard Oil products he sells and takes pride in giving your car the attention it deserves. When he fills your tank with Crown Extra gasoline, you're getting the finest gasoline available, as proved by its continued sales leadership throughout Kentucky in the areas served by Standard Oil dealers year after year. And his new Mobile Oil Special and Uniflow motor oils flow freely in cold engines, allowing quick starts and giving instant protection, yet do not lose their protective qualities at highest operating temperatures. Get acquainted with the dependable quality of Standard Oil products. Quality you can measure by your car's performance. And those are the highlights from tonight's battle between Kentucky and Auburn. We'd like to thank our engineer, W.D. Weatherly, from Montgomery radio station WCOV. And this invitation to you to join us again next Monday night, February 6th, when Standard Oil Company and Standard Oil dealers throughout Kentucky, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, and Mississippi will bring you the game between Kentucky and Florida in Gainesville, Florida. Read and heed all traffic signs. They help save both lives and fines. The National Safety Council reminds you, traffic signs are signs of life to the driver who respects them. Safe drivers make safe highways. And now this is Claude Sullivan speaking from State Coliseum in Montgomery, Alabama, wishing you good night and a pleasant weekend. Your final score again is Kentucky 82, Auburn 81. This is the Standard Oil Sports Network.